right? Let's get real for a minute. You've been fed a whopper, a grand illusion, a flat-out lie about happiness. And here's the kicker. The wildest part is that some dude in a simple tunic, chilling in a garden over 2 millennia ago, already called out this exact scam. We're talking 300 BCE, folks. Think about it. Every sleek ad that slides past your thumb, every perfectly curated influencer post, every limited time only drop that screams urgency, they all whisper the same seductive promise. Just buy this, upgrade that, finally snag the thing, and then you'll feel complete. You'll be enough. But let's be honest with ourselves, shall we? That credit card high, it fades faster than a TikTok countdown timer. And what are we left with? A lingering sense of emptiness, a twitchy finger scrolling for the next dopamine hit, the next fleeting distraction. This isn't some new phenomenon. Epicurus, that ancient garden philosopher, predicted this exact soul-sucking loop of craving and crash. And guess what? He even offered a way out. Spoiler alert, it definitely doesn't involve a bigger shopping cart or a more exclusive membership. Quick gut check, just between us. When was the last time you felt genuinely, deeply content? Not just a fleeting smile, but a quiet, settled feeling that lasted longer than it takes for a notification to pop up on your phone? If your honest answer is a good question, then welcome, my friend, to the club that capitalism so meticulously built for us. Today, we're not just peeking, we're yanking back the curtain with both hands. We're going to expose why more stuff actually keeps us perpetually miserable, how an ancient philosopher already handed us the cheat code to a better life, and most importantly, the 5 ridiculously simple, genuinely doable habits that can help you step off this frantic hamster wheel without having to, actually move to a cave. Let's call the modern happiness industry exactly what it is, shall we? It's a subscription service. And it's one you can't seem to unsubscribe from, no matter how hard you try. Think about it, brands, these colossal entities, pour billions of dollars into meticulously crafting and then manufacturing holes in your self-worth. They spend fortunes convincing you that you're lacking, that you're incomplete, that there's something fundamentally wrong with you just as you are. And then with a flourish, they offer to rent you the filler, often at a lovely 24% APR. Thank you very much. They'll sell you a scented candle and label it self-care. They'll market a fancy designer bin as organization for your chaotic life. And that massive gas-guzzling SUV? Oh, that's not just transportation, that's adventure, a ticket to freedom. The goal, you see, isn't genuine satisfaction. It's a far more insidious game. It's chronic almost satisfaction. It's designed to keep you forever chasing, forever just shy of truly feeling content. Psychologists have a name for this treadmill of desire, the hedonic treadmill. It's that frustrating reality where, once the novelty of a new purchase wears off, your mood inevitably resets to its baseline. That shiny new gadget, that trendy outfit, the initial thrill is intense, but it's fleeting. The joy dissipates, and the meter starts running again, prompting you to seek the next new thing to momentarily lift your spirits. The system isn't broken, not by a long shot. It's working exactly as it was designed to. Your anxiety, your underlying sense of lack, your constant craving for more, that's the product. And you, my friend, are the loyal, unwitting customer. We're told that happiness comes from acquisition, from external validation, from a constant upward trajectory of material gain. But what if that very pursuit is the source of our unease? What if the relentless pressure to keep up or get ahead is precisely what keeps us from finding any genuine peace? This isn't just about spending money. It's about spending our mental and emotional energy on a chase that has no finish line, leaving us perpetually exhausted and unfulfilled. Now, let's rewind a couple millennia and meet the original minimalist influencer, a man who truly understood the game before it even had a name, Epicurus. Forget the mansions, the entourages, the golden statues. That wasn't his vibe. His brand was far simpler. A small, unassuming garden, some cheap wine shared among friends, and plenty of time, precious, uninterrupted time to think, to converse, to simply be. He lived a life that, by today's standards, would be considered incredibly modest, even austere. But he was, by all accounts, a profoundly happy man. Epicurus had this brilliant way of cutting through the noise. He distinguished between 2 fundamental kinds of desires, and understanding this is like getting a secret decoder ring for modern life. Firstly, necessary desires. These are the non-negotiables, the foundational elements for a life free from pain. Think bread, water, shelter, and crucially, friendship. These are easy to satisfy. When you're hungry, a simple meal does the trick. When you're thirsty, water quenches. When you're lonely, a good conversation with a friend fills that void. Because they're so basic and readily available, these desires rarely lead to disappointment. Their satisfaction brings a deep, quiet contentment. Secondly, unnecessary desires. These are the tricky ones. This is where the truffle pasta, the sports cars, the TikTok famous coffee gadgets, and the designer handbags live. These desires are, by their very nature, bottomless. You chase one, and before you know it, you've discovered 3 new needs faster than you can swipe your credit card. The problem isn't the pleasure they might bring, it's that they are insatiable. They breed more desires, creating a never-ending cycle of wanting. As the research context highlights, Epicurus saw true contentment not in adding more fleeting pleasures, but in achieving a state free from pain and disturbance, a catastematic pleasure, which is superior to the kinetic pleasure of satisfying a momentary craving. Epicurus wasn't anti-pleasure, quite the opposite. He simply argued that the good life isn't about constantly adding more fleeting pleasures. Instead, it's about the profound act of subtracting false cravings, shedding the weight of manufactured wants, until you hit a state he called ataraxia. Fancy Greek for freedom from mental static. Think of it as the original ad blocker for the soul, a deep, abiding peace that comes from within, rather than from external acquisitions. He understood that much of human unhappiness stems from irrational fears and misconceptions, especially about what will truly bring us joy. He believed that if we could reduce our desires to what is truly necessary and attainable, we could achieve a profound and lasting peace. Now, fast forward 2 millennia. Take that ancient understanding of human desire, throw in some mind-boggling technological advancements, and you've got capitalism's superpower weaponized. What Epicurus understood intuitively, modern corporations have turned into a science. Algorithms, those unseen puppet masters, meticulously study your dopamine patterns. They know precisely when that initial high from your last purchase is starting to dip, and then they drip feed you the next shiny object, perfectly timed to snag your attention and reignite that spark of desire. Planned obsolescence isn't just a happy accident, it's a deliberate strategy. Your phone, a technological marvel, feels positively elderly at 18 months. Your perfectly functional appliance suddenly seems inadequate. This constant cycle ensures you're always in the market for something new, even if the old thing still works perfectly fine. And then there are the influencers. They flaunt lifestyles that they don't even truly own: rented private jets, staged hotel stays, wardrobes borrowed for a single photo shoot. They present a highlight reel of curated perfection, making your raw, unfiltered life feel somehow lacking in comparison. The result? A pervasive, gnawing chronic FOMO, fear of missing out that keeps your cortisol levels perpetually sky high. We're constantly comparing our behind-the-scenes reality to someone else's manufactured fantasy. And the physical manifestation of this relentless chase? Landfills, overflowing and fattened by perfectly usable gadgets and discarded trends. We're not truly living in excess in the sense of enjoying abundance. We're living in a giant, meticulously designed Skinner box, complete with a neon shop now sign blinking incessantly. We're conditioned to respond to external cues, to seek momentary gratification, and to believe that our worth is tied to what we own or what we can project. This isn't just about consumerism. It's about a fundamental rewiring of our internal reward system, making us dependent on external stimuli for fleeting moments of perceived happiness. So, ready to opt out of the Skinner box? Ready to reclaim your peace of mind and your wallet? You don't need to enroll in a philosophy class or memorize ancient Greek manuscripts. The beauty of Epicurus's wisdom is its utter simplicity, its practicality. You can steal these 5 habits, tuck them into your back pocket, or even stick them on your grocery list. They're that straightforward. Firstly, trim the desire list. Before you click Add to Cart, before you even allow yourself to browse, hit pause. Ask yourself genuinely, would Epicurus call this necessary? Is this truly a need for sustenance, safety, or genuine connection? Or is it about impressing strangers you don't even know, or keeping up with some invisible, ever-shifting standard? If it falls into the latter category, skip it. Just walk away. Better yet, redirect that cash. Use it to chip away at that credit card balance that's quietly bleeding you dry, stealing $200 a year in interest. The freedom that comes from having less debt, from not having that monthly panic attack when a statement arrives, is a far more profound and lasting pleasure than any logo nobody else even notices. This isn't deprivation, it's liberation from the endless cycle of wanting. Secondly, build a friendship ritual. Epicurus, that wise old soul, valued mates above money, above fame, above almost everything. He believed that happiness is more attainable in supportive social groups, where individuals genuinely inspire each other to live a good life. So here's a challenge: pick one night a week. Guard it like it's a non-negotiable, high-stakes CEO meeting. And instead of chasing external validation, share a cheap, homemade meal with people who genuinely refill your emotional tank. It doesn't have to be fancy. Potluck, pizza, even just toast and tea. The conversation, the laughter, the shared presence, that ages infinitely better than the most expensive bourbon, and it costs 0 calories the next morning. These authentic connections are a cornerstone of true well-being, providing a deep sense of belonging that no purchase ever could. Thirdly, practice negative visualization, but the chill version. This might sound a bit morbid, but trust me, it's a powerful tool. Spend just 60 seconds, just 1 minute, imagining losing something you already have and take for granted. Picture your morning coffee suddenly vanishing. Imagine your eyesight dimming, or your internet connection cutting out permanently. Now open your eyes. Suddenly, the ordinary, the mundane, feels like an absolute gift. That simple cup of coffee, a luxury. The ability to see the world around you, a miracle. Neuroscientists actually have a name for this practice, savoring. And they found it boosts baseline happiness more effectively and more lastingly than upgrading your gadgets ever could. It shifts your focus from what you lack to the abundant gifts already surrounding you. Number 4 is schedule boredom. This one feels almost rebellious in our always-on world. After 9 p.m., or even just for an hour a day, turn your phone to grayscale. Put it in another room. Disconnect. And then just let your mind wander. Allow yourself to be bored. Boredom, believe it or not, is the cradle of creativity. It's where your best ideas are born, where your mind truly processes and synthesizes. Consumerism absolutely hates boredom because it's unprofitable. When you're bored, you're not buying. You're not scrolling. You're simply being. In these quiet moments, you'll rediscover hobbies that don't require a single click to buy accessories. Rediscover the joy of simply existing without external input. This practice helps you break free from the constant stimulation loop and reconnect with your inner self. Finally, treat luxury as spice, not staple. Epicurus wasn't some ascetic who shunned all pleasure. Far from it. He wasn't anti-pleasure. He was fiercely anti-dependency. Enjoy that fancy dinner. Savor every bite. But pay attention. Notice when the enjoyment truly plateaus, usually around bite 6, right? After that, you're often just chasing the Instagram shot or trying to finish the plate out of habit. Walk away before the law of diminishing returns moves in and sets up shop. True Epicurean pleasure is about mindful enjoyment, appreciating the experience without becoming enslaved by the need for it. It's about recognizing that overindulgence often leads to more pain than pleasure, leaving us feeling bloated, guilty, or simply less appreciative of the next experience. Here's the beautiful, almost poetic irony in all of this. Once you stop renting your happiness from retailers and brands, once you truly understand that genuine contentment isn't for sale, you start collecting real, tangible dividends. We're talking lower debt, which means less financial stress. We're talking deeper, more meaningful friendships that nourish your soul. And we're talking 24-hour access to a profound, quiet contentment that no external force can take away. You'll still browse ads, of course. They're everywhere. But they won't hold the same power over you. They'll feel like carnival barkers yelling outside a magnificent museum you already own. A museum filled with your own peace, your own joy, your own connections. The economy won't collapse because you politely decline a second air fryer or decided against upgrading your phone for the sake of it. In fact, if enough of us embrace this Epicurean mindset, the market might actually begin to rebalance itself, shifting towards stuff that truly lasts, stuff that truly matters, stuff that genuinely serves our well-being rather than just our fleeting desires. Imagine markets optimized not for manic craving, but for meaning. That's not some far-fetched utopia. It's simply basic economics, minus the manipulation, minus the constant manufacturing of dissatisfaction. It's an economy that caters to genuine human needs and desires for connection, purpose, and well-being, rather than endlessly fueling unnecessary wants. If this resonated with you, if it sparked even a flicker of recognition, please hit that like button. Algorithms, for better or worse, share videos that people engage with, and we'd infinitely rather spread calm and contentment than consumer chaos. And hey, drop your favorite simple pleasure in the comments below. Let's crowdsource a free, ever-growing catalog of joy. And if you're new here, consider subscribing for weekly reminders that truly, deeply, profoundly, enough really is enough. So, the lie is exposed. The grand deception about happiness isn't some complex enigma. It's surprisingly simple. Happiness isn't hidden in the next upgrade, the next purchase, the next shiny thing. It's been camping out in your garden, metaphorically speaking, of course, the whole time. It's found in cheap wine shared with good friends, in the absence of debt, in the quiet joy of simply being. Capitalism's overlords, with their intricate systems and seductive promises, need you restless. They thrive on your discontent, your constant yearning for more. Epicurus, on the other hand, needs you still. He needs you calm, present, and free from mental static. The choice ultimately is yours. Choose the side that lets you sleep at peace, debt-free, and genuinely excited to wake up tomorrow, even if nothing in your online shopping cart updates tonight. The exit door from this relentless cycle is unlocked. It just looks a little unfamiliar. It looks like boredom. It looks like genuine friendship. It looks like the quiet, powerful act of simply saying enough. Walk through that door, embrace that simplicity, and watch as the scam, the grand illusion, finally loses its grip.